Bro, I can't believe this. This is more than just Legos, Ben! Exclamation point. You're single-handedly going to help expose a very large group of people performing nefarious acts on a daily basis, and it goes right up to the highest office.
Let's get into it. A whoop whoop, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on, guys? Coach Colin here. Man, oh man, this is a very weird story. Now, I was just thinking about it before I hit record, and I was like, what is going on? Why would she respond to this? There are so many other things that have been said. Why has she responded to this of all things? Now, let me just break it.
I forgot I was on a live stream, and then my shit crashed.
This guy is,
and it took me a while to realize that it crashed. So I don't know how long it's been since I was.
He didn't tag me in this. He says sources confirm Erica Kirk does have a boyfriend. Can't share names, but someone very close to her verified it. If you have more details and want to stay anonymous, DM me. More to come. My sources check in. Now, when I saw that, I was just like, this is just one of those stories. There's so many, the kids aren't hers, and, there's a whole bunch of stories. And listen, I don't want to roll my eyes at that stuff, because I've done episodes about the potential of, like, Mortal Kombat Ultra being done to this lady, and, looking at her schooling, where she grew up, and how close it was to facilities that have done Mortal Kombat Ultra, and Charlie's as well.
Have you guys heard the conspiracy theory that Erica Kirk and JD Vance are both what is the politician and high military official with the last name Aquino? Trying not to tell me. Michael Aquino. Michael Aquino's kids. It's Aquino. Aquino. Please look into it, because the photo side-by-side comparison is uncanny. Have you guys seen that? Gio, did you see that? Where they are saying that JD Vance and Erica Kirk are both Michael Aquino's kid? And you know who Michael Aquino is? The guy who ran MK Ultra. He's the Satanist with the pointy eyebrows who's like the high military official. He is an American political scientist, military officer, and Satanist. He was the founder and high priest of the Temple of Set. Aquino was also a specialist in psychological warfare for military intelligence and an officer in the U.S. Army. If you look at the side-by-side photo comparison of Michael Aquino and J.D. Vance and Erica Kirk, dude, I think they're really onto something. Because I'm sorry, but the DNA doesn't lie. I bet he is. I totally forgot that I got in the zone and forgot I was on a live, and then I don't know how much time has passed. The video stopped playing, and I was just like in my own little, I was on a roll, and then I just realized, however long that's been, maybe 5 minutes, maybe 20, I don't know.
Well, and I've gone through, I go into some rabbit holes, as you guys know. We don't wear tinfoil.
Yes, they are.
Okay. We put mints in our mouths, we put on tinfoil speedos, and we dive.
I don't like Pride Month, and I don't want a Trump month. Trump is a. You guys are so ignorant if you actually think that any politician that you see on TV has power and runs things. The people that actually have power and run things, you don't see. The people that you do see, it's just like the receptionist. You know, does the receptionist do all the thinking and for everything? No, the receptionist answers the phone and is the face of the business. Okay? But the receptionist doesn't run things, maybe a little bit, you know, with the organization, a receptionist specifically. But in this case, it's just the face of the business. The president, the current sitting president, is just the face, the current face of the business. And you also have to realize this too about Congressman Massey. You guys are going to be fooled again. Congressman Massey, anyone who is drawn to a life of politics already has those same behavior tendencies that all the ones that we've exposed for being bad people have. It is the type of person who is drawn to politics. Political servitude is meant to be a service. It's meant to be something that you're doing kind of begrudgingly. We should not have or elect any politicians who decide to be politicians. We need to look in our community and we need to see who is the most integral part of our community, and we need to nominate those people for office. And that is how people should be elected. I don't agree with fucking. I think anyone who is like, I'm gonna be a politician, and then goes and. Like, can you imagine the bullshit you have to do on a day to day basis to get to that? It's all fucking fake, you guys. It's all fake. Your mom. Okay, he's 12. Yes, that's exactly right. People who seek power are the least worthy to hold it. That's a good way to say it. A nice little saying to sum it right on up. But yeah, like, I just don't think that that should be the case. Okay, let me put on a mask. I mean, a hair tie so I can put my hair up. Or maybe I'll just tie it. Can't find any hair ties right now. Don't get mixed up. Don't get mixed up. Don't get mixed up. I'm having a hard time ranting out. With that angle to do this. Karma ring. maybe now this mask, it's not heavy, it's right in the middle. I think I got too much hair. Where are you? There you are. There we go. Okay, that's better. I'm trying to make it so it can be up as long as possible without bothering me, because it freaking gets heavy. We do kick butt every day. Absolutely. 100%. Okay, stay away from the Velcro. Stay away from the Velcro. Staying away from the Velcro. Gonna get my hair caught in the fucking Velcro for sure. That's not tight enough. My ear does not like being in this thing, apparently. Okay. I fucking hate masks. This is like such fucking sensory overload for me to wear a mask, and then to get in the zone to work is like, I can't. You have to reacclimate myself to it. Fortunately, it's a lovely day out today, and so the weather's going to be really nice and cooperative, and that means that I get to wear a mask and I can work. I can't open my hatch because of my pet spider, though. She's like about to have babies, I think. She's watching me right now. I should have put something on the TV before I started. Shit. What day of the week is it? It's a weekend, right? Pretty sure it's Saturday. Saturday, 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 Saturday. Why are you still there, bro? Hmm. Look at this meow. It looks so good. Bro, get over here. Nothing. wonder what he's doing out there. Sounds like a bus is moving. Oh, is that dude moving out? No. Whoops. Ow, those are sharp. It is time. What? Apparently, I have it turned on. need to get all patient. I am a fan. I'm totally a fan. I am here for this. I'm here for this. This works great. This is perfect. I literally couldn't be more excited about my life right now if I tried. I could not picture anything better than what I'm experiencing every day right now. Like, I thought I knew what I wanted in life and I thought I had plans for myself, but boy, I tell you what, the plans that God actually has for me, that I'm just like, when I just completely gave up and was like, okay, literally whatever you want, I'm just going to do it. I'll just bumble through the dark and God will just like flash a little light at from some direction. And then I'm like, oh, okay, that way. Bumbling around in the dark, flash a little light. Oh, now this way. And that is literally how God is leading me where I want to go right now. I just am the true exact person that I proclaim myself to be. I am in complete and total trust with God. I have completely free fallen through life and I'm being patient. I've been sitting in this bus for the last 2 years every day thinking about a house. How I'm gonna get into a house finally. I'm gonna have my own little place. And everything has just worked out so great. I'm wearing a mask because of this rug material. Trust me, I hate it. I tried to do it without wearing a rug and I started to have plastic fibers in my lungs. And so it also has messed my cat up a little bit. She inhaled some fibers and she's been coughing for like 2 weeks now. And that's like something that I have to cope with and deal with for the rest of her life now. She's almost got it up. I think she coughed up a little bit of fiber yesterday. Poor baby girl. But this is about to be moved. I just got a house. I just signed a lease, or I'm sorry, I haven't signed a lease yet. That's like me being just saying words like I got an apartment. But I got a house. I have not signed the lease yet, but it's pretty much done deal. They're running my background check right now, which I know my background check, criminal background check, has nothing. They are only looking for like the last 5 years or whatever. And I was very honest with them about my 20s. I was a drug addict in my 20s, so I made bad choices and I went to jail. But anyway, so they know about all that, and I have the money I need to pay for it. The guy that I work for gave me like an incredibly generous bonus that is like, when I saw it, like the amount of money, my jaw hit the ground, like that kind of money, it was crazy. So I have money right now to be able to, I'm probably going to have to work on my truck. And I'm maybe considering buying another car. I'm also considering, like, I'm gonna get some furniture. I need to get furniture for my house, and I'm probably gonna go ahead and pay a little bit of money in advance for my rent. So that's pretty much where we're at, and it's crazy how everything just keeps getting like working out so much better than I thought it would, as long as I am patient and I let things work out in God's time. If I try to manifest, I might manifest, but it's going to blow up in my face. I would rather just do whatever, cuz I'm not here for any purpose other than to be a tool for God and be Elliot's mom, obviously. So honestly, like I don't know what to do. I've never been alive before. This is my first lifetime. So like, or as far as I can recall. So I'm I don't know what God wants me to do. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. All I know is that all I knew that is just I was going to keep throwing spaghetti at the wall and eventually something would stick. Oh, thank you. Thank you really so much. I really, really, really mean it. I'm not good at articulating that kind of stuff, but I am very grateful. Like, it's the whole purpose, the reason why I was doing it was because I know how life works, it's up and down. And I knew something better was coming and whatever. And I was like, okay, well, if I document my struggles and how I overcome them as a person on a like, and I mean like actually like documenting it, like, my day to day, then people will be more likely to trust me when I tell them, you know, life advices. Because people don't listen to me. They think, people are like, oh, you live in the bus. Yeah, I live in the bus by choice, you guys. Duh. I've lived without rent. Like, what do you mean? That's like a genius. What? It's crazy to think that people don't just like want to have an easier life. And the thing is that if you want to have an easy and happy life, you have to do things that are fucking hard and uncomfortable. And the only way that people are going to trust you when you say, hey, you need to like go through this like difficult experience, and they like actually trust you and listen to you and take action, they're not going to do it if they think you've never taken any hardships in your life ever, you know? So I want to help people. I want people to see that you can't, like, this world is so fucked if somebody doesn't do something. You know what I mean? And I can't really do very much. I'm poor. So the only thing that I can do is this. This is all I can do. I'm spread too thin in too many other places. I can't donate. I can't volunteer my time. So this is what I could do. Share my life with you guys. And hoping that if you guys see me doing something, you understand that, like, I'm just a golden retriever. I'm just like, la, 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 and just going through life. But if you do things with more, with more intention, you're way more smart than me, right? You could, if I could do it, you could do it. You know what I mean? It's like that kind of thing. Inspire you guys any ways possible. Don't be weird, Patrick.
What is that? And then the infamous Project Constitution decides that he is going to talk about it. And I'm like, oh gosh, is this guy gonna get it? Gets himself in trouble. You guys know what I mean. He gets himself in trouble sometimes. This might be one of those times, people. I mean, I'm just sitting here, okay? He says confirmed, has a boyfriend, spotted getting handsy with new Philadelphia boyfriend Blake Wynn, nephew of casino mogul Steve Wynn at the exclusive Beverly Hills hotel. I now have confirmed two separate sources that Erica has moved on and fast. And I saw this and I was like, oh, he's going to get into it again. He's saying confirmed. I saw it at the top. I said, oh, he's saying confirmed. He's saying he has to. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be like last time, you know? Trusted eyewitness. Now, this is where I was like, what's going on here? But there's more. There's more to this. It's not just I'm going to read this and show you something. He actually has a witness who is reporting this. That really threw me off. Not only that, the people who responded to this, it's going to blow your mind. I mean, one guy had time in between someone saying, get back to work, Matt Walsh, get back to work. He had time in between those two lashes to go and write something out. I'm not making that up. Why is he responding to this? Weird. The whole thing's very weird. Trusted eyewitness. Personally
The
saw
Zionists are kvetching.
Thursday, May 14th. Ultra exclusive invite only bar. 1912. Getting very intimate with Blake when they were hugging, singing. Witnesses say his hand was on her behind. She goes on to say that Erica was heavily intoxicated. This from the same woman who claims to be. Now I was just like, come on, that's too much. Like she would do that out in the open. You know, think about this. Would she do that out in the open? But if you're at an ultra exclusive place, there's places rich people go. We've all seen Eyes Wide Shut. There's places rich people go to do all sorts of stuff, and none of us are the wiser. Okay, we never smell the baby oil. We go to the store and the baby oil's all there. So we just think, well, the baby oil's here. There's nothing crazy going afoot. But there are people who are going to the baby oil distributor and they're getting their baby oil there, getting their baby oil by the skids. So we have no idea. It shows up in the store. We're none the wiser. But somewhere in some kind of mansion, there are candles lit and there are people slipping and sliding. Just, I'm just saying. You got weird masks on, you know? The sources say, shopping together at Neiman Marcus, even more damning, quick turns up, a dozen photos together, etc., etc. So basically, let's just get to the actual interview. Okay, so that's actually them hugging. That's a real picture. That's not made up or anything. But apparently, he actually sits down with somebody and they talk about it a little bit. I'll give you a little bit of the talk now. He does say, "I didn't realize this."
Can't wait to have a fucking workstation.
What is this?
Pretty soon.
You hear the voice. He says, I digitally altered with AI to protect the witness's identity. I guess that's kind of smart. I guess so. But listen to this. I'm just an American citizen trying to do the right thing, and I'm literally gobsmacked with the info I got. So I had no choice, literally calling, like, if I didn't tell Rob, I felt like I was doing a disservice. Like, now, when I heard that, I was like, pardon me, ma'am. What's this? Are you real?
No, you real? Just said it was an AI voice.
Because that sentence, that sounded like a Tyler Robinson. That sounded like Tyler Robinson writing to Lance Twigs. You know, that's what that sounded like. But we press on. We press on. Give it a chance. Because she thinks she can run and hide, and she's not untouchable. I know she perfect. Erica would not think twice that anyone's gonna recognize her in the world of the Beverly Hills Hotel. It's very, very exclusive. It's like a high-end society, and it's a very private society. So when you walk into the Beverly Hills Hotel, right, there's the red carpet. There's two sets of security guards you gotta get through. And if you're known to be a regular there, they just open the door and you're right in. But you would never know that there's this whole place that's hidden there. And it's basically so everybody who wants to be mischievous and do whatever they want, it's the place to go. I mean, even when I would go there in my 20s, I was just so grateful there was no social media back then because like it was like the only place that let you do blow and drink comfortably without hiding it, and they even sold us Parliament cigarettes at the time. I mean, I grew up going there. Like my parents would take me. The old people go to the polo lounge, or I should say, the high-end sports. What did she say? My parents used to take you there. Hold on a second, man. Excuse me. Excuse me. You gotta get your parents' hands behind the back. Is that what you're saying? You brought up blow and your parents take.
Sir, I don't think you understand what's going on. It's a voice changer.
Who's this now?
Come on.
Who's this? What's this? We press on. I'm gonna give this like another minute and a half. Go there to find their future rich baddie or whatever you want to call it, rather. But like when I was going to UCLA, like that's all we were doing was partying at Bar 1912, and you can't just get in. The only reason I got in is because my next door neighbor was, and his son and I would party together all the time, and his sister. So you have to know someone to get in, and there's a secret door. You walk right in. It's to the left before you go downstairs to the ballroom. All the lounge is to your right when you walk in. The Beverly Hills Grand Ballroom or the hotel is to the left, and all you see is those beautiful stairs. However, there is a door right there. It's secret. You walk in, it's a full-on bar, and there's a patio. There's no cameras in there, ever. You can get away with a lot of shit at the Beverly Hills Hotel. Okay, they used to sell us Parliament cigarettes for a reason. I'm 45 now, but this is when we were much younger. Like, I mean, Tom Selleck has been there. What? The blow is like a regular thing, but she's like, listen, they had cigarettes.
This is a gay man.
Get to the Erica stuff. Get
the way that he's talking, it's a gay man with a voice changer app.
Why? She was acting like people should be looking at her when no one really gave a shit. They were just like, ew, who is this tacky woman? She did look tacky, but she's Arizona. We are LA. It's a completely different life. So she stood out. And that's when my friends started calling me and saying, what the fuck is this chick doing here? She said it was like around a week and a half ago. And they were chilling. They were all just there. And this girl walks in with I guess it was a black skirt, a black leather skirt, and she was wearing peep toe, nude color, like the patent leather Christian Louboutins. Like, if you're a woman, trust me, you know exactly what those are. Well, if you're in that society, and was cuddling up, having a cocktail with the dude that looked like a nerd. The picture that you showed me, I believe that one more so than the other, because that was more the description that she gave me, and she was just kind of like, dude, like, is this really like that girl that her husband got murdered and she's Christian? And I'm like, shut up, you did not see her there. She's like, yeah, that she was there. She was there with one of the dudes that is a regular there, and he's for sure Jewish. And like he's even been seen at the Beverly Hills Hotel wearing his yarmulke for events that actually take place. So when my girlfriend told me this, she was like, isn't this the guy that you were posting about and his wife, and like you were really strong about it? And I'm like, yeah, oh my god, like that's exactly who's with this guy right now.
Okay, maybe it is a girl.
Okay.
Starting to sound more like a girl.
But here, you're like, you might hear that, and you're just like, whatever, you know. But here's the crazy thing. Yeah, I thought it was AI. But here's the crazy thing. Erica responded. Erica actually commented on this. Erica was like, hey, this is too much. She was like, listen, say what you want about me being at Romania. I know what that looks like. She's like, hey, listen, say what you want about Egyptian planes following me around. Fine. Okay, I get that. Say what you want about how I am a terrible CEO. I understand. I know, okay? I know all that. But what you're not going to do is accuse me of having a boyfriend and having cocktails. That's probably what she's more mad about. She's like, I have been telling people I don't drink. This lady says I had a cocktail. The whole thing's pretty crazy. Now, here, let's just see what Erica had to actually write. Right? Give her her due. She gets to say whether or not this is true. So Erica actually says, this is actually Erica's account. Not making this up. This is legit. This is legit her. This is her, guys. You know? 1 million followers. Every single word here is a lie. Charlie's love will last me a lifetime. The Lord is the only one who can ever fill the most painful void. On March 14th, I was home in Arizona celebrating my son's second birthday. Blake, who is about to get engaged to his longtime girlfriend, was a dear friend of my husband's, and I'm grateful for his continued support, just like hundreds of others. Your deranged obsession with me and blatant disregard for any form of in front of the computer all the time. For sure, there's gonna be Cheetos, and it's just a thing. It's a cultural thing. People will know exactly what you're talking about. And tell them to go touch grass. That's such a base thing to say. Don't worry about what base means. Just put it all in. Put it all in, please. Let me write it. Let me write it. I don't know, man. What the weirdest thing about this whole story? When I listen to the interview, I'm like, I don't know about this. Like, who's this lady? Like I would love to talk to her for 5 minutes just to see if she's like crazy or not. You know what I mean?
But
Some people
then
have
Erica
fun staying
replying,
for 5 minutes.
that just gives it a little
crazy.
steam.
Oh, okay.
But
So,
it's probably a red herring.
This is actually a very crazy person. So I would love to do that. But the fact that she actually responded is the
They're probably
craziest
trying to
thing
get Candace
the
to say it.
craziest. Who cares if Project Constitution is telling people that you have a boyfriend? There are people who say her kids aren't hers. There are people who are saying she's a guy. There are people who are saying Charlie's gay. I mean, there are so many things that are being said. Why react to this? I don't know. It was flabbergasting that she reacted to this. And then this dude, by the way, this Blake Wynn character, okay? I've never heard of this guy in my life. I go and look at his page. He has never wrote anything since what? What is it? All of a sudden 4 hours ago. All of a sudden 9 hours ago. All of a sudden 10 hours ago. But before that, it was May 2nd, 2025. This guy just didn't touch X at all. And then all of a sudden, August 22nd, 2025. Doesn't touch anything. And then all of a sudden, boom, the first thing he does is he reposts what Erica has to say. Then you go a little further and he says, brush the Cheeto dust off and go touch grass. Sound advice to millions on this app. Then all of a sudden, Britta. Like, he has access to Britta, the same Zio Ranger shill. All of a sudden, he's connected to her, which is such a weird thing out of nowhere. So he finds what she wrote. Enough with this crap. You don't get to lie about somebody all the time. Demand they prove you wrong. That's not how any of this works. This is a back and forth that he.
Yeah, this is a red herring
She writes back
to try and get Candace to fuck up, I think.
Then he posts this very weird picture. I have no idea what that's about at all. And all of a sudden he's just active again, just out of nowhere. So I will go to what he said because you got to hear his response. I mean, more important than whoever that lady was. Maybe. I don't want to discount that lady. If that lady's telling the truth, I don't want to crap all over her. You know what I mean? Blake Wynn here. I hate to be the bearer of bad news to this cesspool of bots and X users that spend their entire day making things up under the guise of journalism. But I'm not dating Erica. Project Constitution. Say what you want about this guy. This guy is pretty fearless when it comes to this type of stuff. If I made a video like this and Erica responded, I'd be like, oh no. Now I gotta go toe to toe with Erica. Now I gotta ratio Erica in front of everybody. Oh no. This is gonna be terrible. He says, where were you on May May 14th? Do you have anything that would show you were not in Beverly Hills? Feel free to DM me privately if you'd rather talk there. Where I stand is I can absolutely place Erica with a guy at that hotel on that date. So there's always a possibility that the witness is incorrect about you being the guy. I'm open to that. But I need further details to dispute it. My only motive is finding the truth. So I would be happy to correct the record if you can show me something that proves you were elsewhere. Thanks. This is wild. I mean, just wild, just wild. Uh, blatant. He's just so in your face about it. It's good. Like that. That is how the press is supposed to be. You know, maybe he might be wrong about. He was wrong. He's been wrong about other things. He's been right about a bunch of things. But this is how
it's been far too long since politicians were afraid of the press.
Give you the pressure. Where you stand is you have a tag team of Helen Keller and AI generated audio as your source, and I feel bad for anyone that follows your garbage. Now I will say, he's like, I guess that's a no. If you show me something to disprove the story, I'll immediately publish a correction. I need more than just trust me, bro, though. How he turned the tables there. Everybody's accusing him of being the trust me, bro guy. And he's like, can't go with trust me, bro. You know how it is. We need facts around here. That's amazing. That's amazing. And also, this guy could just answer. Like, I know a lot of people are just like, this might be dumb or whatever. You could just answer. It's really simple. Erica already answered. Why can't this guy answer? Some people are saying, dude, he's making up a bunch of stuff. We're making a lot of money off this BS. There needs to be consequences. This guy says, good idea. Project Constitution is going to get sued into oblivion right now. That's what it's seeming like. When I see all these people activate at once like this, I mean, right or wrong.
Well, that's because someone took the bait.
I think he's about to get some letters. I think that's going to be his next post.
Yeah, this is
how many letters he received.
Red herring to get people to fall for it, so they publish it so that they can be sued.
And then, see, and then all of a sudden, that picture is crazy. I don't know what this picture is. I'd really love to know what that picture is.
Oh, and then I forgot about you guys. Sort of like I forgot to look up and make sure it wasn't turned off.
Now I'm like, what's happening right now? Because this is Project Constitution. You could just ignore this. Like, what does it have? 1 million views? It has maybe 1 million views. It would just be like, okay, just who cares? The guy's saying I have a boyfriend. I'm the CEO and I'm traveling all the time. Who cares what this guy has to say? Matt Walsh steps in. This ridiculous slob has been harassing Erica with one retarded slanderous lie after another for months. He deserves to be sued into oblivion. But the problem is that he's almost certainly broke already and has no dignity or moral character to speak of. So he literally has nothing to lose by continuing this. Why can't I say that word? I know, lunatic. This lunatic campaign. There you go. When a word's there, you can see it in your head. You can hear it in your head, but you can't say it for some reason. Just me. I'm crazy. Okay, no problem. This is actually, once I saw Matt Walsh. Then this is the reason I feel this way. Okay, this is summing this up. Candace has asked for so many different things. Candace has.
Yay! All of my rugs arrived to their people.
Said, hey, I need an answer for clarification on things. She has accused and said, hey, I know you did this. I know this has happened. She has brought up thing after thing after thing in regards to Erica, whereabouts, alibis, please clarify. And they're completely silent. But for some reason, when Project Constitution brings up a boyfriend, which honestly brings up a boyfriend, they all jump on it. I mean, this guy and
Activate.
This guy, honestly,
it's called They Activate.
He even tagged Andrew Bolvet. He was like, "Hey, PR guy, you have something to say?" He actually went into one of Andrew's posts. Was like, "Hey, PR guy, you got a problem with me? You want to do some stuff? Huh?" Erica in the comments crying about it makes it seem more real. It really does. And this is the dude, by the way. The girl said he looked like a nerd, and whatever. He looks the way he looks. That's him. And when people see this, like Charlie knew the guy. I mean, Cabot knew Charlie too, right? I mean, can't say that he did anything like that. Oh gosh, now I see him with Ben Shapiro. Now, credibility out the window. Oh, I'm on Project Constitution side. That's it. That's. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You know how small this guy has to be to be the same height as Ben Shapiro? That is sad. That is wildly sad. And then he's just with this lady, Huckabee. Wow. Oh, he's. Oh, oh, that's weird. He's at that event. This is the Club America event where she went to Arkansas, and he's there with her.
And Erica was there.
Oh, that's weird. Why is he there? Okay. And then this is the. Is this the White House thing? No, this is not. This is a different event. Together. Okay. This is the White House thing. I can tell by what she's wearing. With Tulsi there, he seems like he's taking that picture. There they are. I thought she always hugged by the head. I thought when she did that with JD Vance, everybody was like, she's just an intense hugger. That's just how she hugs. I think she even said that. Where's that hug for him? You know? It's weird. And then they were together outside. Huh. Now, you know why this actually speaks to me a little bit? Because this is the night, this is after she said, I didn't want to go home. Why so sad? That's right after that. That's what this is. Okay. This is where she went. She didn't exactly go home. She went to the car. She stood around for a while. When you see them inside, they're together, right? They were together at the event. And also, when people were asking, was she sitting with Andrew Colvette? She was actually sitting with this guy, apparently, allegedly, maybe, perhaps, sitting with this dude. So you're with him, everything happens, and then you leave by yourself because we all remember that clip. She didn't leave with him. There's a guy with a beard. He seemed like a security guard. He's moving people out of the way, got her out of there, and then they meet up outside afterwards. That is getting to like a weird place. Now I'm not saying that's her boyfriend, but I could definitely see why people think that. I'm definitely one of those guys where I'm like, if you're a lady and there's a guy that wants to be around you all the time and he's like, I'm just your best friend, I don't know about that. I am one of those people where I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. He's like, maybe he's your good friend. But maybe he would also marry you if you just like opened up about it just once. That's usually how it goes. It's usually like 70% your guy friend loves you. It's like a 70% chance he completely loves you. 30% chance he doesn't, Um, that's just me. The whole thing is very weird. The fact that she actually answered is the weirdest thing in the world to me. She doesn't answer anything. Why on earth would you answer Project Constitution when he's talking about you having a boyfriend? Who cares? Honestly, who cares? The only reason people are going to care now is because she's answered. It's very weird. And he does say something. Does she actually say anything back to him? Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay. He's like, surely you would have a picture with metadata from that day or something that would show that, right? You can send it to me privately if you want. The balls on this guy, huh? You can send it to me privately. Listen, CEO of Turning Point, lady who just made like $10 million and sold a billion hats and had a Super Bowl halftime show that 14 trillion people watched. If you'd like to send me that picture privately,
Nobody watched that Super Bowl show, actually.
As I have said many times, I only care about the truth. If I'm wrong, I will admit it and correct the record. Why don't they just correct them quickly? If you care enough to say anything about it, you should probably just correct it. She says she was with her son, and it was his birthday, and they were celebrating the birthday. And then she's probably going to send that same picture with the faces covered, and she's going to send it to Gary, and Gary's going to be like, I got it this time. I'm not going to mess up, Andrew. He's going to be like, okay, so let me just, I have the alibi from Erica. Okay, here it is. He just holds up the picture. Oh, I wasn't supposed to do that. I'm sorry, Andrew. I'm sorry, buddy. Oh, man, I did it again. Oh, you said not to share it. I shared it. Oh, man. They literally just hand him a picture of two stick figures. One of them just points and says Erica. The other has an arrow that just says son. Gary's like, this is solid alibi. Very cute, very cute. Looks just like you. Okay. Because he's dumb, right? Anyways, guys, I just wanted to bring that to you really quickly. I found that to be very interesting. I don't know where that's going to go. I think he's going to get sued quite a bit. I would be very surprised if he doesn't get sued very much for what just happened. I'm not saying he should. I don't want to bring that to him. I'm just saying I think that's like the next thing that's going to happen. Look, he even posted this. Full time, Erica Kirk is not legitimate CEO of Turning Point America. Agree or disagree? Oh my God, I love it. I love it. Shout out to Project Constitution. Look at him. Look at him. Now she's not the legitimate CEO. Can't do that to her, man. Why are you doing that to her? Leave her alone. Why so sad? I just want to go home. Why so sad? Anyways, guys, just wanted to bring that to you. There will be more today. There will be more today. There will be more videos, and the clip channel is still popping. So please go check out the clip channel. If you've missed some live streams and you're like, how can I stay up to date? You can go watch them. You can go watch them, of course. Or if you just have a little bit of time, you can go to the clip channel. That works. You can still buy me a coffee. I'm still going to read those on the live stream 100%. Even if you send it on Saturday, I'm still going to get to it on Monday. Even if you send it on a Sunday, I'm still going to get to it. So even if it's after the live stream, send it anyway. I'm still going to get to it. Anyway, that is the benefit. That is the benefit of coffees. Anyways, guys, just wanted to bring that to you. A very weird story from a very weird world. I am out of here. Yo, what up, everyone? What we got here is another Bricks and Minifigs response. Yeah. Woo. I'm not really in a good mood. So they're suing us. They're suing Brian. That was, their response. Let me get my microphone here. Let me make sure, actually. Nice. Okay, we're on the right microphone. Okay. Uh, yeah, I look like shit. Uh, your boys been going through it, guys. You know, it's Benjamin Paul Schneider. I'm really surprised I'm not named in this. We're about to get into, Bricks and Minifigs is soon Brian. I guess they decided, this is also what Ben wanted, so that's good. But this is crazy. And I'd like to reiterate, Ben did not want Brian to be sued. That is the last thing Ben wanted. He wanted us to get sued, which is fine. Um, you know, Now we can prove in court that they get the Legos back. So that's what we wanted. I wish they would drop Brian out of this. Brian had nothing to do with anything he did. He's 100% innocent. He had nothing to do with any of those shenanigans. Brian came over once or twice, and that was it. Brian has nothing to do with this. So they need to leave him out of this and just give him his Legos back. It'd be that simple. But I'll get back to it. I just wanted to touch on that because Ben did not want Brian to get sued. That I misspoke. They've got 15 John Does. I'm not exactly thrilled about it. I know, I'll get added into this. There's some stuff I can't talk about going on as well. This sucks. This sucks. Yeah, it's a load of malarkey. They're gonna lose, I think. There's about to be a temporary restraining order, so I don't know how that's gonna affect everything. It's Utah County, state of Utah. I think we're gonna be getting real used to reading that. Yeah, I would assume. So yeah, let's get into their response. We got another Bricks and Minifigs response. Woo. Let's pause this. Hold up, guys. Yeah, so I'd just like to touch on a few things on this another Bricks and Minifigs response, right? You know what I mean? Sorry about the eczema on my face. I've been going through it, man. This is my first.
No one can see that. Why are you even talking about it?
The internet. I don't really know how to feel about it. There's been times I've had panic attacks. You know, yeah, it's been interesting. I feel like maybe some of my intentions weren't the greatest, and it's kind of like a situation of you know, you're gonna get everything you asked for, but nothing you wanted. Which kind of sucks. I don't really feel like I deserve that, but that would be the situation I would find myself in with this video. But that's okay. You know, it's not anyone's fault. I'm very proud of the Lego video, and I think, you know, some really talented guys all collabed on this, and we did some really cool stuff, and we came up with a really fucking great video, man. And I'm really proud of it. You know, I'm glad I was part of it. I feel like, you know, the chemistry was amazing. You know, but you know, now we're getting sued. It's like it just seems. I would rather just do comedy. I'm, you know, a funny guy. I would think, and I've got really good skits written. I just don't know really if
Oh
the
my
whole
god,
like
shut
getting
the
sued.
fuck
I just had
up!
mine, so it got deleted. Mine said
The most
I
insecure
met my
person I've
favorite. I
ever
met my
heard
favorite
talk.
YouTuber from Ryan's World, Victor, or I met my favorite YouTuber, Victor from Ryan's World. I think I said here, and then I changed it to be 1 star, which that is true. You know, Victor's my favorite YouTuber of all time. Believe it or not. So super good guy. Ben and Victor, great guys, dude. But yeah, so yeah, you didn't offer to return these items to the Mansell family. You made us, you know, write 5 star reviews and jump through all these hoops, and then you never even gave them back. You know, we've held down to them. I remember it, you know, because I remember I was pretty disappointed. You know, I drove, you know, I spent my last $500 to be in this video. You know, and I was so disappointed that they said that because, you know, we had all these other shenanigans planned and it was so fun. And then it just became boring. We're just writing 5 star reviews and, you know,
Okay, you sound like a 12-year-old.
we're calling people and stuff.
That's
you know,
part of it.
in the video, but they did make us do that for sure. And Ben has the footage of it, so it's not like I'd lie about anything. Um, so yeah, I mean, you know, you
You're
guys are still
complaining.
growing. You know, you guys are gonna sit here and say, you know, you care. You know, we think it's stealing from old people is what I think of, to be honest. And that is, you know, in my opinion, what your brand is probably going to be forever known for. You know, even if you guys win this lawsuit somehow, which I would be just stunned. You know, and this kangaroo court of, you know, 15 of us, it's ridiculous. You know, this is just going to burn everyone's money. You know, I don't even have any money. You know, obviously Ben's going to help everyone. I mean, we were just trying to help our friends. So suing us is stupid. Suing Brian's even worse. I'd way rather me get sued than Brian, but we're sued. At least Brian is. You know, is built on trust, passion, and a shared love for creativity. You know, you can steal our Legos, but you can never steal our creativity, guys. Over the last several weeks, a deeply distressing and manufactured. We didn't manufacture anything. You know, that can be proven in court. I don't care. It is not manufactured in any sense of the word. You know, our video, we built it. You know, we built it.
Yeah, but aren't you going to be in court in Utah?
You know, so this
where
is
the
public
police
narrative surrounding
are actively
corporate leadership
covering it up. So, like,
franchisees.
I
Knowingly
assume
stole
judges are in on it.
$200,000 Lego collection from an elderly collector and his family. This is not true. No, I would, in my opinion, allegedly say that's true. You know, given the overwhelming evidence I've seen, I can't believe, you know, this is crazy. You know, given the overwhelming evidence I've seen to the contrary, you know, this statement is crazy. You know what I mean? The family, uh, yeah, yeah, I don't know. It seems like they already proved that this is a lie. Corporate took on. We acknowledge a corporate support employee verbally said the new owner would take all that consignment liability. Okay, so then
Why don't you just give the Legos back? Because they're in his house. I guarantee you they're in the owner of the Bricks and Minifigs' house.
yeah, I mean, you know, you guys have heard the guys. They're not exactly like good dudes. I, you know, can I kind of understand a little bit, especially not really. I mean, I don't know, man. You know, if I owned a store, I'd be pretty chill. You know, I've never owned really anything, so I definitely would be like a super good dude about it. But that's just kind of how I am. I'm also like kind of a, I guess, give you my shirt off my back kind of guy, if that makes sense. So it's like I couldn't do this to someone. I would be like, man, this sucks. I don't like this stuff. And I really don't like stuff like this. Stuff like this. It's no good, man. You're better off just chilling out, man. Sitting there yelling and all that stuff. We've all done it. Super dumb. Look how dumb Josh was. You're making a fool of yourself, bro. We were completely willing to sit down and figure out a fair, reality-based way to ensure this grandfather is made whole. Now that now and here's the thing, right, people? You weren't. You know what I mean? This had been going on for years before we stepped in. So that's a lie. You're not willing to sit down. We went in there, and it wasn't like we were being hostile. I would say Ben is probably the nicest guy I've ever met when you interact with him. It's like, wow, you know what I mean? This guy is the chillest guy. And it's like to come at him like, all aggressive and stuff would be interesting for sure. I mean, he just doesn't really, the guy you see in the videos is the guy he is. Ben's a good dude, man. Sitting there yelling at him and stuff, super weird. Giving him a coordinated viral extortion campaign. We're not extorting you. We just want to get the Legos back. If you'd given back even, I don't know. I mean, I just wanted to get Brian his Legos back. That would have been sick. These fake delivery uniforms. We never forged any signatures. I definitely got my phone stolen. To say otherwise is crazy. I'm partially traumatized. I've never been arrested for something I didn't do. Before, and it's like I didn't do shit. I didn't do a single goddamn thing to get arrested, and it was like, what is this? You want to talk about circus? Talk about the American Fork Police Department stealing my phone. I was like, what is going on? Where am I? We could have done that in my town. I live in one of the worst towns in America. Dude, we would have got bored waiting on the cops. You know what I mean? They would have never shown up if that guy was calling about that. You know what I mean? They were there. I couldn't even get the sign up. You know what I mean? It was like, what? Um, yeah, so back at it. Sorry, I had to cut something out because it might cause legal issues. So sorry for the random cut. I just realized what I said I shouldn't have said. Um, you know, residential harassment to manufacturers forming line for profit. We actually were trying to serve him. That's the honest truth. And we were trying to get a GoFundMe. And the GoFundMe is a resounding success. Let's pull up Brian's. And here's a link. Let's pull up. Nice. This is gonna be sick. Yeah, we got $38,000, guys. Please donate to this if you care. If not, I understand. I was the first person to donate. Uh, yeah, I mean, pretty sick. So yeah, I mean, it's just a load of malarkey, guys. Definitely help out Brian. Uh, if you can. If not, I don't want to ask anyone for money. But yeah, is the offer to help find and return the sets is similar? Oh yeah, I want to touch on something they said. Yeah, let's send him a complaint. Actually, we'll do that after this. I don't want to dox my email. We'll give him a complaint. I feel like we're gonna basically go to him and just send him we steal from oldpeople.com, of course, but it's kind of their fault for leaving an email up. Where is where is it? Hold on. Mm-hmm. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna find it. They said, they said, here it is. The store closed due to a lawsuit. It was bomb threats by viral videos. This the store being closed is in the viral video. Can you guys? Has any of you guys heard about this situation? No. You know what I mean? There was no viral video. About this. It didn't exist. You know what I mean? Yeah. So whatever, dude. That's a lie. You know, you never got a bomb threat. You closed because we got a default judgment on your place. You know, it's in the video. You know, it's not like we just stage stuff. You know, Ben's content's real. Everything's real, 100%. You know, he doesn't lie. You know, so that's did not close because of a lost legal case. Yes, it did. Allegedly. I believe. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It closed temporarily. Yeah, I forgot. I have a complaint. You guys stole Brian's Legos. Said you want to get them back. Then sued him and lied again. Also suing me, which is super whack because I really don't care or have the time to deal with this.
That's what he's banking on, idiot. Why are you fucking messaging someone else's fucking? Why are you? They're suing you. Why are you messaging him?
Your
Obviously, you don't have a lawyer.
Mustache is the cringest, most evil, but not cool evil, like lame. I don't know what else is funny. Also, I think your CEO's mustache is like the cringiest, most evil, but not cool evil, like lame, kind of side character evil. Evil.
Yes, you're definitely a comedian.
It's super
I need to get up and change this.
weird, man. Yeah, so I mean, you know, we got an email here. It's not very funny. I'm gonna admit that. Let's see if we can't make it out. Wait, hold up, everyone. And we steal from oldpeople.com. Boom. All right, we're gonna get that URL and and we steal from old people. Please check out that link if you want to see a proper CEO. Thanks, and please give Brian his Legos back and drop him from the lawsuit. You're going to destroy your brand dummies. All right. Should we send it? This is for my email. You can reach me here at stealfromoldpeople@gmail.com. Not we. There's no we. It's just steal. So let me send it. All right. Nice. Here you guys go. I said I'd respond. right, guys, we got some breaking news. If I am reading this statement correctly, it sounds as though Marjorie Taylor Greene has just
Dude, it's coming out so good. That looks exactly like the cat that I am. It's crazy. I can't believe I'm a fucking artist, dude. Very all right. Back. Back in the saddle again. Oh. I'm definitely not a leftist. Oh, thank you. I enjoyed the soothing rug cutting as well. Trans ginger, you're damn right. Yes, exactly, Geo. That's why we don't ban them unless they start being really awful perverts and stuff. And we don't ever, if you are like someone who's supportive of me or a fan of mine or whatever you want to call it, I don't know, whatever, please do not argue with the trolls in the comment section. Do not let those people get you worked up because their point is to do that. So you're letting them win if they do. Also, I don't give a shit what they think, so. This is one of my followers' cats. This is a commission. I took a photo of the cat and I turned it into a cartoon and then I put it on my thingamabob. I projected it onto the screen and then I made it into a rug. And I must say, it is
probably so far. The owl is my favorite so far, and then this might be my second favorite. Now that I'm carving it, it looks, I knew it was going to be great, but I had to give myself the space and time to get to a place mentally where I could actually dedicate my energy to this. I wasn't ready before today. So I tried a couple times, but I was just not really feeling it. It wasn't the right day. For some reason, today is the right day. I don't ask questions. I just do what God tells me to. Anytime I try to force something, I always get instantly, like, one time, it was like yesterday actually, but this is a great example of like how I get basically instant karma or whatever whenever I try to like do anything naughty. So I had taken the cable out of the weed eater, and it was only about that much, and I tossed it because I was just frustrated in the moment, and it's just like, I don't fucking care. Goodbye. Because it shoots out sometimes pieces that are like this, and it is what it is. It just gets lost. It's so much stuff. But anyway, so um I threw it, and literally, I'm not even making this up. Two 2 to 10 seconds later, I'm using the weed eater. So maybe like 30 seconds later, I'm using the weed eater. I got it back on it because I had to put the string in. Finished putting the string in. Got it back on it, and like, I immediately ran that string over, and it got tangled in the head of my weed eater. And I was like, okay, okay, okay. I hear you. And so then I put the weed eater twine stuff in my pocket because, like, you know, I wasn't supposed to do that. I wasn't supposed to just throw it on the ground like that. That was fucked up. And I was just being pissy and I was frustrated. So I got instant karma. I realized, like, I'm literally being watched at all times by God. I can't get enough away with nothing.
Left the Republican Party.
And that's okay. That's why I don't do nothing.
This is a big deal. If I'm reading this correctly, we're going to go through
That's
it
why I'm
together.
such a good girl.
First and foremost, I want to start with this interview. This is the most recent interview that I found of Marjorie Taylor Greene. I guess kind of alluding to that before the statement was posted on X. And I'm going to show you what Thomas Massey had to say in response to her statement, as well as Joe Kent. It seems like something could be happening, ladies and gents. So let's go to this interview here that Marjorie Taylor Greene had. Again, this is the most recent one that I found of her before that trip to Costa Rica. So take a listen to what she says here about building some kind of a movement. So this movement has actually continued. It's taking different shape and what many would call America First. But the movement is actually growing and forming. You're seeing people coming from both sides of the political aisle, people from the left and the right that are very, very disgusted with their own political party because they feel like it, whether it's left, right, Democrat, Republican, these parties really are one and the same. And the results are generally one and the same, except for, a few social issues on the outliers. And this movement going forward, I believe, is the most important movement that can take place in America because it is led by the younger generations. Pause here for a second. That almost sounds similar to what I've been saying, which is that, these parties, they're both pro-war, Democrat and Republican, they're pro-war. They are pro-billionaires, they're pro-elite, they're pro-Wall Street. And it's those social issues where they have disagreement. So that sounds similar to what I have been saying. So not saying she's heard it from me, but maybe Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massey and Joe Kent, which we'll get to them as well, maybe they have been paying attention to what other people have been saying. Maybe they've been, whether it's on social media or whatever, maybe they do watch some of the, YouTube political commentary space. Maybe they have their eyes and their ears open to what people are actually saying. Notice she also said it's people on the right and people on the left aligning on these certain issues. And she's talking about a movement. So again, most recent interview that I could find of her, which possibly,
Do you want to go outside, baby?
leads to the statement that she put out on Friday. Let's continue on here. it's for their future, not for the older generation. And that's my parents' generation. I dearly love them, but it's really the younger people, and they're voting for the issues that affect them and matter most in their lives.
I'm coming right now.
I do.
Pretty soon you're gonna have a doggy door.
Well, I don't know if we have.
You're gonna be able to go outside whenever you want.
But I will definitely be a loud voice and align myself with them and see where it develops going forward. All right, let's do more immediate. Before they get to the Georgia part, she said she's going to align herself with them. The them she's talking about seems like it's the younger people, right? Because she said that the younger people are the ones that are looking for something different, and this really does pan out. We were talking about this recently. You'll see this in the interview that I had with Elijah Manley, which is that the problem I think a lot of younger voters running into is that we don't show up in mass to vote in these elections, especially midterms. Midterm turnout is nothing like the turnout for the presidential election, but also that, many of us have become disaffected. We just kind of feel like both of these parties are bought. Some of us vote third party or independent, but then ultimately a lot of people end up saying,
my fucking broom
so
again.
it sounds as though she's trying to say she's going to align herself with some of those younger voters. I would imagine Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massey, I think they're both Gen X. And that's the generation that is often forgotten about. I know friend of the show, Roger Meadows, he's talked to me about this a lot, which is that a lot of times when we're talking about generations, it's always the boomers, the millennials, or Gen Z. And there is a generation there that is in between, and that is Gen X. And oftentimes that generation is forgotten about. People used to refer to them as the latchkey kids because they were apparently, I guess, that first generation
To be home alone all the damn time.
They would, let themselves into their parents' apartment or home, and they would sit down, do their homework, that type of thing. Like the parents may not have been there when they got home from school. So that's what they used to call them, like back in the day. But I think both of them are part of Gen X. And, I just hear again, like from people like Roger Meadows, that generation feels as though they're just forgotten about, they're looked over, and that it's not just the millennials that have also been struggling economically. Gen X has been struggling as well. Let's continue on here. Statewide politics. How do you assess Republican chances in the governor's race and the Senate race this fall? Well, I mean, which governor's races are you specifically talking about? In Georgia. In Georgia, well, we are a close state. However, I feel like in this particular governor's race, I think the Republican nominee should pull ahead based on the Democrat nominee being Keisha Lance Bottoms. If you're in Georgia, you can remember when she was mayor of Atlanta, and that was when the BLM riots happened. And there's many, I would say, many police officers across the state. Many people were very unhappy with her leadership as mayor. That will give the Republican primary winner a definite edge over her as the Democrat nominee. How about the United States Senate race? John Ossoff appears to have lots of money, and there's going to be a Republican runoff. How about the prospects there? Let me pause here. So for one, Marjorie Taylor Greene needs to understand people are going to have to stop calling it riots. Most of the protests that happened during the George Floyd protests, most of them were peaceful. Yes, there were some people that were looting and took advantage of that. There was also a lot of infiltration. But I think it is really important to explain to people that the majority of the protests were peaceful. And this happens with every type of protest.
Because I drove through one of them and it was fucking scary.
The majority are peaceful, but there are infiltrators and there are people will
They
take
set
advantage
fire
of
to
that.
the
They'll
road.
say, hey, this is
Here,
the time
like in
just to,
Eugene, Oregon,
loot or do whatever. And
they set fire
sometimes
to the
people actually
fucking
put bricks outside of businesses. I saw
the
all
like
this
road
on
that
myself.
you have to
Put
get on the
bricks right
highway.
outside of businesses to antagonate, right? To get people to say, oh, let me pick up this brick and just throw it into this, this business or whatever. So I think she needs to change her framing on that.
I think you need to change your framing.
I think people do have to remember that all of Georgia is in Atlanta. So she may be popular in Atlanta, but that's a statewide race. This is a similar issue that Stacey Abrams ran into as well, where you may be popular in the Atlanta area, but it's the entire race of Georgia. Just something to keep in mind. Let's continue on here.
Well, for quite some time, I have yet to see a poll where any Republican candidate edges out John Ossoff. He's an incumbent. Incumbents have tremendous power in re-elections. So I'm not sure how the chances are there. We'll see how the Republican runoff comes through. We'll see which one comes ahead, and then we'll see how it takes shapes going forward.
Okay, so I think she has a point about John Ossoff. He's an incumbent. He's probably going to win a re-election. But let's fast forward to get closer to that statement that she put out. So after that interview and after Thomas Massie lost his race, apparently Thomas Massie and Marjorie Taylor Greene and their significant others, they all went to Costa Rica and they shared the video footage on X. So Marjorie Taylor Greene said, thankfully, we found one brave captain. However, we did question the birds. So just to show you guys, they were all together.
Shoot, babe, we got birds. Yeah. And you? Yeah, do we have wings? Texas and eat. Aren't you guys taste like chicken?
They are followers.
Get some followers out.
Sure, this is for the conspiracy theory birds aren't real. Yeah, these are drones.
Maybe these are the drones we were looking for.
CIA.
Can I get a mic check on the third bird, please? I don't think your audio's coming in. Can we get a mic check on you, sir? Your audio's a little weak.
So as you guys can see, they appear to be having a good time. So that's her, that's Thomas Massie. Again, apparently they were hanging out in Costa Rica, and Thomas Massie shared this one, America First Pacific Summit Retreat. So notice what he wrote there, and this is what I was following. America First Pacific Summit Retreat. And that tells me that, yeah, this was a vacation, but it also made me to believe that they were probably talking about next steps because of the way that he worded it. So let's check out this video footage here.
Here's a ride. Let me get out of the way.
So it looks like they're fishing, just having a good time. But I would imagine the time that they were there, they had conversations. You know what I mean? So we'll get to that as well. But I just wanted to show you what they were doing while they were on vacation.
Really had no idea what this was.
Let me pause this for a second. Some people that were happy that Thomas Massie lost, they were on X and they were basically saying, oh, look at him fighting so hard for the Epstein victims because he's on a boat. Look at him fighting hard. As if people are not allowed to take a break, as if people are not allowed to go on vacation, as like some type of gotcha. Meanwhile, you don't see those same people coming after Pam Bondi or Kash Patel or Donald Trump, those who chose to bury that information. So I just found that really, really interesting. People are weird.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah, so as you guys can see there, it looks like they're having a good time. Here's another one here.
That was good. 80 pounds? 80 pounds? You can tell. How you doing? How you feel? Good. Yeah. That was about 5 minutes. A good fight. 5-minute fight. You had him on the hook for 8 hours, but finally just let it get. Yeah, he was out there. You troll the ocean for 4 hours and you never know when you might get it. You're the one that said, let's just go a little bit further. You never know. That's what they call it fishing. They don't call it catching. That was great. That was get away. It was like my election.
Oh, wow. Wow. He got jokes. He has jokes. Okay. And so, again, he said America First Summit. And then she responded to that same video that I just showed you. And it says the first summit is underway, more to come. And so people saw this and they were like, okay, like what's coming? What's happening? Well, apparently something was to come. Because here's the statement that Marjorie Taylor Greene issued on Friday. Listen to this. We just said goodbye to our friends, Thomas and Carolyn Massey. The civil war in the Republican Party is successfully gutting the true America Firsters like myself, Thomas, and others. But I don't think most Americans realize the extent of what's happening, how bad it is, and what it's going to produce. Let's go on more here. After taking the hard principle stance against the war with Iran in June 2025 and releasing the Epstein files, the neocon controlled Republican establishment, now backed by the president, set out to destroy us. Thomas and I took two different routes, but ended up in the same place, which delivered a message to our colleagues to never go against the president, even on issues he himself promised to do, and at the same time delivered the louder, stronger message to the American people that no matter what they say on TV, rally stages, committee hearings, campaign ads, or stump speeches, Republicans and Trump have overwhelmingly rejected America first and will do anything possible to cut the head off of anyone who tries to fly its banner. This is a really good point here. I don't think anybody else in Congress is going to go up against Trump. If Thomas Massey would have won, I think that would have been a different story. And they made sure that that wasn't going to happen. So we've gone over all that, the campaign money, everything that's been, that was thrown against that race. A lot of the stuff, I said it before, it should be illegal, but I don't think any of them are going to go up against him now. I've also noticed Nancy Mace has been trying to find ways to continue to kiss his ass on social media because she's kind of the ones that may be on the chopping block as well, because she also supported the release of the Epstein files. So it's so telling. The extent and extremes to which they have gone should shock everyone. For me, I was Trump's loudest champion for years, supporting him when no one else would, voting with him 98% of the time, and he called me a traitor for releasing the Epstein files, refusing to support war with Iran, and fighting against the White House bad policies that only serve their donors, like a 10-year moratorium on state rights to regulate and make laws on AI data centers. And yet, my perfect conservative voting record, legislative accomplishments like the House passing my articles of impeachment of Biden's DHS secretary that oversaw the invasion of our country, passing my bill making it a felony to trans children under 18, my work as Doge chair, defunding waste, fraud, and abuse, and so much more, suddenly meant nothing to low educated. Oh, she called them low educated. Woo! Low educated Republicans that are easily manipulated by bot armies and bought and paid for social media influencers that spread absurd lies about me. So again, so she's mentioning the things that she supported, which Donald Trump also supported, but apparently wasn't enough for Trump. After supporting the Republican Party by paying all of my dues to the NRCC
every Congress, endorsing and campaigning for Republican candidates and spending millions and traveling the country to get Trump elected, to be called a traitor, and not a single Republican, even the ones I helped get elected, like J.D. Vance and others, not to utter a word of public support for me, it became abundantly clear that the Republican Party is something I can no longer support and want nothing to do with. So I'm highlighting this here. The Republican Party is something I can no longer support and want nothing to do with. To me, that sounds like she left the Republican Party. And there's other things to point to as well. Let me go on a little bit more here. None of my policy views have changed, but everything changed about the man I supported to be president and the party I supported to gain the majority. They are all under full capture and control. And if you refuse to be captured and controlled with them, then their captors will set out to kill you, and the party sits in silence while it happens. What they just did to Thomas Massey is unforgivable. I saw it all coming early, had just watched my friend Charlie Kirk assassinated, and knew they were going to do all of it and probably worse to me too. So I refused to allow it to happen to me, my family, and my district, so I resigned. But Thomas stayed in the fight, and they slaughtered him with tons of millions of foreign donor dollars that fueled lies, slander, character assassination, and even broke their own laws to do it. They told lies to Kentucky's 4th District that Massey had turned into a liberal Democrat, voting for Democrat policies, and even made vicious, lying, illegal AI ads showing him in a sexual relationship with AOC and Ilhan Omar. Even though all of it was horrific lies proven wrong with his own 14-year impeccable America First liberty-driven voting record. Naive older voters in his district were easily fooled by the AIPAC and Israel-funded campaign lies and voted for a new candidate who refused every single debate with Thomas Massey and has no voting record to prove what he stands for at all. The capture is complete. What will you do about it? So that's the official statement there from Marjorie Taylor Greene. Again, looks like to me she made it very clear that she has left the Republican Party. If someone would have told me this 4 years ago, I would have never believed that this would happen. If someone told me 4 years ago, Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to leave the Republican Party and call them out, I would have been like, yeah, right. But has officially left them. And then that brings up the question about Thomas Massey. So he responded to her statement, and this is what he said. Took a great trip to see my good friend Marjorie Taylor Greene in Costa Rica. We discussed the future of politics in America. So you see, there was some brainstorming going on there. I'm optimistic that honest and principled people will follow in our footsteps. So I'm now headed to Wyoming to speak with young Americans for liberty. So people are wondering, like, is this going to be some type of alignment with the Libertarian Party? I don't know. I mean, Thomas Massey, I know, has, he was a moderator for that third party debate. I know there are libertarians that do support him as well, but he's asking, he's saying that other people will follow them. And he's already going out on speaking engagements. And that is his response to her statement of her saying she's leaving the Republican Party. And then what I was not expecting was this response from Joe Kent. It appears that Joe Kent is also on this same path. So something is happening here, folks. Listen to the statement from him.
Real quick about Massey's race and what it means and why I see some hope that came out of the unfortunate loss. Now, obviously, the bad news is Thomas Massey lost his primary, which means we're going to lose one of our best members of Congress. The seat basically was bought out from underneath him. The establishment, the special interest groups spent about $40 million in dark money to prop up the other candidate and ultimately defeat Thomas Massey. Now, where's the good news? The good news is in the demographics of who voted for Massey and who voted for his opponent. People from, about age 55 and down voted for Thomas Massey. This means, two major things in my view. This means, number one, that Massey's voting record and his message of putting America first, having accountability, for our corrupt elites, not getting us into any more foreign entanglements, getting foreign influence out of our politics, that resonates with younger voters. It also means that the younger voters won't be swayed by, the number of television commercials they see on cable news, ads in the newspaper, radio commercials, mailers being sent to their house, this traditional campaign media blitz that the dark money is able to purchase. It's not effective on the younger voters because the younger voters are getting their information from social media, from podcasts, from a wide variety of media sources that are much more free flowing and have a much more free marketplace of ideas. So that gives me a lot of hope. This means if we can get the younger voters to get out there and to vote, if we can mobilize these younger voters, then we can start getting more America First politicians across the finish line. And in 2028, if we can build a broad populist America First coalition of independents, not Republicans, not Democrats, but independent minded Americans who want to put our nation first, who don't think we should be fighting these foreign wars, who don't think that a foreign government like Israel should be able to come in and essentially buy a seat in Congress. We can build a coalition based on that.
Pause. Did everybody hear what he just said? He said to build a coalition of independents, not Democrats, not Republicans. And he said that would be part of the America First coalition. Did everybody hear what he said? So it looks like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Thomas Massey, and Joe Kent are working towards some. I don't think this is a third party. That would be a lot to do, and it takes years to get all the ballot access. But it sounds like to me that this is some type of coalition to get independents elected. And I'm assuming they're going to look for independents that support whatever platform they choose to come up with. But the America First platform, anti-war platform. Now, for those who are not familiar with him, Joe Kent just left the CIA. He was one of the ones that resigned over the Iran war. He's been doing a number of interviews, but that's what it sounds like is happening. Let's continue on more because I know he says something about the elite money too.
Numbers are there. We just have to organize it. Something else that I think is very telling from Thomas Massey's race, very, very important. And it represents an inflection point and a line of departure in MAGA. Massey drew the ire of President Trump when he pushed for the transparency of the Epstein files. And, the whole Epstein topic, the Epstein class, the Epstein files, to me, it represents in spirit what President Trump stood against, what he campaigned against. Going back to 2016, President Trump promised to take on our elite because that's what the Epstein class truly is. It's an elite group of people who don't play by the same rules as we do, whether it's, victimizing women and children in the most horrific ways, or it's just playing by an entirely different set than the hardworking people in the United States of America. And so this Epstein class is what President Trump promised to be the solution to. He promised to fight them on our behalf. The Epstein class represents everything, from the warmongers that vote to send our sons and daughters, our brothers and sisters, patriots like my late wife, off to go fight and die in foreign wars that don't benefit the American people. A war like we're in right now in Iran that Thomas Massey and many others stand against, that the vast majority of the American people don't support. The Epstein class also represents the financial class, the people who benefited from all the different financial crises that we have suffered.
Oh, I haven't blinked in so long, my eyes are burning.
States. The Epstein class also represents the people who opened up our borders and let crime run amok on our streets, while our law enforcement agencies and our intelligence agencies were weaponized against the American people. So President Trump promised to be the solution to this, but the second Thomas Massey called for accountability for the Epstein class, Trump turned against him. He turned against Massey, he turned against Marjorie Taylor Greene. He even just recently turned against Lauren Boebert because Boebert went out there and actually campaigned with Massey to try to get him across the finish line.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know she'll probably be the next person to lose her seat too. They'll put up someone against her. I think it was close for her last time anyway, and I think she ended up running in a different district or something like that because of that. But she'll probably be next on his list too.
In his primary, Boebert was also supporting the declassification and the transparency for the Epstein files themselves as well. And so it's a major line of departure. And it's very telling to see who is, siding with President Trump as he seeks to, for some reason, protect the Epstein class, as he seeks to continue to send us off into pointless, endless wars, and who is staying true to the America First agenda, who's staying true to, what used to be MAGA. So going forward, I think if we focus on mobilizing the younger voters, supporting people like Thomas Massey, supporting anybody who's willing to put our country first, and having a broad populist coalition of not Republicans, not Democrats, but independents, because most Americans, especially young Americans, they actually self-identify as independents. And if we can have a populist platform that says we're not going to get involved in these foreign entanglements, we're not going to let foreign governments come in and tell us how our government should conduct our foreign policy. We're not going to let foreign governments come in and buy our elections. And we're actually going to hold the corrupt elite in our country accountable. We're going to declassify the Epstein files. We're going to hold the people who abused women and children accountable. And we're finally going to start putting our country first. If we can build a coalition of young people on this very, very simple platform, I think going forward, we can be very successful in 28. And I think we can save our republic. So I plan on staying active and spending a lot of my time and effort to help build this coalition. I hope you'll join me. I just wrote a whole piece about this on Sean Ryan's newsletter. You can subscribe at the link below, and you'll be hearing a lot more from me. So thank you very much, and God bless.
You know what's interesting about all this? This is exactly what some of us wanted Bernie, AOC, all the other squad members to do. To form a separate coalition outside of the Democratic Party for people
should make you wonder,
with agreeing with the policies.
Why didn't they do that? I wonder.
Because the Democratic Party, the Democrat establishment, just does not respect any type of progressive or anything that goes against the establishment. They just don't. And unfortunately, what ended up happening, especially for someone like AOC, is that she ended up capitulating to that Democrat leadership. And
she was hired to do that. They found her on the streets as a waitress.
Republicans in
her job was to do exactly what she's doing. Why don't you people understand?
Build some type of coalition outside of the Democratic Party, because the Democratic Party was basically putting a muzzle on many of them and basically saying, you got to go along with us if you want to keep your seat, if you want to stay in Congress, if you want a political career. Didn't happen. Wanted them to leave the Democratic Party, and as popular as AOC is, as many followers as she has, imagine what that could have done and what they could have created with that. Now we see people on the right doing what we wanted them to do. And it's sad. It's not sad that they're doing something outside of the two parties. That's not a sad thing. But it's just sad that the squad members didn't.
That you were being lied to the entire time. The only honest people at all were Marjorie Taylor Greene and Tom
they would have walked away from the Democratic Party during that genocide. But people, I guess, wanted to look out for their careers.
The careers they have specifically to do what they're doing.
Like to me is that they are trying to build a coalition of, they said, independents. They are going out to recruit the young people. And he said 2028. So they're getting started now. And they're recruiting independents, guys. They want independence. So I see that as a positive. I see it as a positive. Now, I don't know what their platform's going to be. I know I'm not trying to join any other party, or I'm not trying to join. You guys know how I feel about that. I'll join in all this stuff, and then things go wacky. But I will say, I'm not going to sit up here and say Marjorie Taylor Greene is bad for leaving the Republican Party. Nah, that's a good thing.
And sometimes hear this and they'll say, well, you agree with Marjorie. I agree
Scared
with
of
Marjorie
reading
Taylor Greene
stuff.
about 4 things. The rest of it, we disagree. But I definitely agree with her leaving the Republican Party. If AOC and them were to stand up tomorrow and say they were leaving the Democratic Party, I definitely would agree with them leaving the party. Because it's controlled. And there's only so much that you can do. There's only so much that you can do.
Oof, I wish you could make it tighter.
If you want to keep your seat, basically. I mean, we've seen that happen multiple times. It happened to Dennis Kucinich too. And he was a Democrat. So it doesn't just happen in the Republican Party. But it sounds like they're building a broader coalition. And many of us were wondering, okay, what are they going to do? Like, what's going to happen now? Because I think most people, they just go away quietly and they go back to practicing law. They write a couple of books here and there. They may give some speeches. They'll have their speaking engagements, but they can get paid for that as well. That's what most people do. But they're not doing that. So this will be interesting to see, ladies and gentlemen. Again, if you would have told me this 4 years ago, that Marjorie Taylor Greene was going to leave the Republican Party and she was going to call them out, I would have never believed it. But it sounds like that's what's happening. And it also looks like Thomas Massie and former CIA member here, Joe Kent, that they're also joining. Look, 2026 has been a crazy year. I don't know what else is going to happen, but it's some wild things going on. But I will say, I think all of you should applaud people leaving that party. Hey guys, this was a savvy clip. If you like what you saw, hit that like button and subscribe.
It's not like to cut sometimes from that angle. Hey, Spider Mama, I think it's time for you to earn your keep. It's sounding a lot like it's time for you to earn your keep. But of course, she can't because she's going through it right now. I'm housing a pregnant single mother. That little voice in my head just told me to get the spider or get the fly and give it to the spider. I'm kind of hungry. Do I have food? Not really. Let me do this. I want to see if I could perhaps. I cannot see comments at all. There we go. Now I can see you guys. Cool. And now you can get a closer view of what I'm doing. I'm almost done. This is coming together quite well. Eyes done. It's time for the ears. What? See the difference? Yep. Lady Turnip, I don't even feel the muscles that I'm using because my muscles are already so fucking jacked from all the other shit that I do. Also, I went to barber school. Cutting is like something I have a long practice doing. Telling you guys, not even joking when I say that this hobby slash business is like taking everything that I've ever been good at or like had a substantial amount of practice doing and combining them into one hobby, one like mega ultra hobby. And I literally cannot even believe it sometimes how everything to do with this is like something that I already like to do. You're probably not gonna like it because I'm gonna run the freaking vacuum again. Don't know why that fell. No, I mean, I do have one, actually. I have an electric trimmer. I just don't like it. It doesn't give me as much control as the scissors do. They're fast. They're too fast. It's just too fast, too much, too soon. And I'm like not trying to take off like a fucking huge chunk. At least with the scissors, if you do an oopsies, it's like one fiber, maybe two. It's almost hard to go down and like snip deep and make it like, you know, like unfixable or whatever. But with those fucking trimmers, ooey. I've really, I mean, and I think if you think about it, this is just really like par for the course when it comes to me. I don't really like machines, to be quite honest. I very much prefer hand tools. So let me flip you over. This can be a lot like doing your eyebrows. One hair. One little fiber cluster can make all the difference. Hungry. Wish they had food delivered out here. Oh my fucking god, dude. I'm about to be able to order pizza delivered to my house, dude, like a fucking rich person. What? Stop it. The irony is that I'll never be able to afford pizza because I will be paying rent. So the irony is not lost on me. Vacuum cleaner needed a vacuum cleaner. All right. The vacuum cleaner needed a vacuum cleaner to clean the vacuum cleaner. When you say stuff like that, Brian, it makes me think, Ryan, it makes me think that you've missed the point of Jesus as a whole, and that's just very disappointing. All right, here she goes. He is done. Oh my fucking god, that looks so
good. Oh my god. Yeah, I was wearing a mask and I hated it. Oh my goodness. Damn it. I need to screenshot the screen. Hold on, let me- Oh my god, he looks even cuter puppy. Be right back. I'm gonna go take a photo. Look at how I carved the nose out because the colors were the same and I wanted to mark the nose. I think I'm gonna come back and trim this little tiny triangle right here because it kind of makes the nose look like it's like a little bit. See what I mean about how like one little hair can make all the difference? Hold on, I gotta put the fingernail first. Trim the little corner, unfortunately. I could get stuck doing this all day. I have to be really careful about that. I remind myself, even Picasso had a last stroke, you know? Even Michelangelo was like, this is the last chisel. So I gotta know when it's time to stop. Okay, sorry about that. There he is. He's so handsome. Look at that cute cat. All right, bear back up. Just airdropped it to myself. So now it's over there on my just airdropped it to myself. So now it's over there on my tablet. Why isn't it working? All right, weird. Okay, so photo is now over here. He's all carved up. He just has to get his backing done and then he'll be ready to go. I'm sorry. That looks fucking great. It translates extremely well on camera, which I'm very happy about. Hi, Adrian. I just realized every time it says so-and-so said hi, you guys are pressing a button that says send a hi. I didn't realize that until yesterday. I was in someone's live stream. So I apologize for missing those before, guys. Bro, I can't believe how good it looks. I'm so excited about it. This camera's probably muffed up.
He is so adorable. Literally can't get over how cute this is.
Okay. Now what do I do? Too light out right now, so I can't project my next rug. I knew I should have done that like the other day, but I had to give myself a little time to relax. Now I'm done with this rug. Well, I need to do the backing on it, but I don't really feel like doing it right now. So I'm gonna turn this off. I'm gonna hang up with you. And I'm gonna call my kid. And maybe I'll make a video or something. Can't stand when my hair's in a bun because I can't make my bangs do what I want them to. Oh, my hair's clean. I forgot. I took oh my God, I took the best bath last night. No wonder I slept I slept so good last night. Oh, it was nice. It was a good sleep. Oh yeah, I have to get food too. Maybe I'll just microwave. I think I have frozen food. I might just eat here. I don't know, I haven't figured it out yet. But I can take my hair out now. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So much better. I'm still not gonna be able to get my bangs to do what I want them to. I didn't cut my bangs when I dyed my hair the other day. So just pin them back. All right, I'm gonna skedaddle. I will see you guys later. Yeah. Thanks for hanging out with me while I do art things. I really appreciate it. I love you. Oh yeah, and 2 weeks until I move into my house. 2 weeks until I move into my house. I literally feel like I'm rich. I feel like I have like all the money in the world and I could literally do anything I wanted with it right now. Like that's how I feel, truly. I'm such a lucky girl. Okay, bye.